Ronics are humming in the dead of the night. Electric bills climbing, ain't feeling right. Hash rates dropping, profits thin as air. I'm digging for gold, but there's none down there. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't choose. But there's a spark in the AI glow. Rent my computer, let the profits grow. Once I was king with my GPUs. Now I'm stuck paying the power dues. Every coin I mine feels heavier than lead, but I hear whispers of a future ahead. I got the crypto mining blues, feeling like I just can't lose. Switch my power to the AI flow, turn this burden into a glow. I see the light, it's flickering on. AI's calling my machines to respond. No more digging in the blockchain dirt. This pivot might just heal the hurt. I got the crypto mining blues, but I'm stepping in brand new shoes. The AI train's on a steady roll, gonna wreck compute and regain control.
I was digging deep in the digital ground, hoping for treasure, but nothing was found. The rigs were buzzing, the heat was real, electric bills biting like a thief who steals. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. I stacked up GPUs, thought I'd strike it rich, but the market's a beast with a wicked glitch. Hash rates climbing, rewards falling flat. Chasing that coin, I'm chasing a cat. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my day. AI knocking, it's a brand new game, whispering sweet that it knows my name. Ran out the power, let it learn and dream. A smarter hustle, a brand new scheme. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, no more feudal race, just AI visions lighting up the space. Crypto mining blues got me feeling low. The profits are gone, where did they go? But there's a light shining through the haze. Renting compute might just save my days. Now my GPUs hum a different tune, training models under the cyber moon. No more digging, just AI visions lighting up the space.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the Voltage Drop. Good to see you all. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm doing well. Feeling a lot better than I was last week, that's for sure. Yeah, it was, I was just starting to come down with stuff last weekend. And yeah, it got worse towards the beginning of the week. But finally feeling better. So, got my trusty coffee. And happy to be here. Had a busy day today. I had to go to work, unfortunately. Is what it is. But it was definitely been a busy day. I had a consulting call at 10 this morning. I got home late last night because I've been working second shift. So went to bed about 2 to 3 o'clock whenever I got home. Got up at 9:30, rolled out of bed at 9:30, and had the consulting call at 10. And then basically went to work pretty much right after that. Was at work, managed to get off a little bit early because trucks weren't going to show up, and so here we are. So, but yeah, definitely been a productive day, and hope you guys are all doing good. I hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday. I will say, for those people that know ILL, yeah, the Illini beat Purdue today. Sorry, Rob. I know you're not watching, but sorry, Rob. Anyway, a friend of mine who went to Purdue, and Curtis for that matter, another guy that I used to work with that went to Purdue. But yeah, Illinois, number 11th ranked Illinois beat number 4 ranked Purdue today in college basketball. For those people that like to watch sports ball, as my non-sports watching friends tell me what they call it. But yeah, it's been a pretty good Saturday. Like I said, feeling good. Had a productive week with a bunch of stuff going on. But let me run down who is here, and then we'll go into some of the things I did this week. Alrighty, let's see. Bleach 500 is here. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. I forget what that's from, but I've heard that from somewhere before. Deep Harsh 824, it's cold down here. I'm not sure where you are, but it's cold everywhere relatively for the most part, except for I think Southern Florida, I think is actually pretty warm, even for this time of year. So, Bleach 500, it's minus 10 here. Let's see what it is here right now. It's cold. It's a little bit warmer than it was. Last night it was below minus 10. What is it right now? I'm going to look up my handy dandy Baron app. Oh, it's a warm and balmy 5. So yeah, it's warm. A heat wave, 5 degrees. 5 degrees. Squirrel Master says 4 degrees there. And of course, I'm talking Fahrenheit as well. Rabbit Investor, Squirrel Masters, Frogman Mining, More Analytical, Swamp 7. VAST is actually killing it recently. 5060 Ti making bucks, 14 cents per hour finally. I can't even say mine are not doing well at all. So I'm glad yours are, but mine are not. Mine are not. I'm having to lower the price. I had one that I could consistently get 9 to 10 cents, which ended up translating into like 11 or 12 cents. But I can't get it anymore. The only thing I've got rented right now on those 5060 Ti's is like 7 cents. I'd rather not go down that far, but yeah, I've been having some issues. Of course, Swamp 7's going, yeah, it's your network. I think the networking issues might have been fixed though. Because suddenly my download speeds on certain rigs that were really, really low, like 200 to 300, are now back up to 600. So they might have finally fixed it. I don't know for sure, but maybe we could. Maybe I'll run that that MTR command, the my traceroute command, and see if I'm still coming up with that. I did not make the Bears lose. That would have been my daughter, because every time she came into the room, because she doesn't normally watch the Bears, they did something not good. So I blame it on my daughter. I'm sure she's not watching, but if she was watching, she'd probably be like, yeah. Anyway, but it was definitely a fun season to watch with the Bears, and actually was even a kind of a fun last game to watch. That final, well, not the final play, but basically the final play at the end of regulation, where he's backing up yards upon yards upon yards. They're at the 15-yard line. He threw the ball from the 40 and threw it right in, perfect strike into the end zone. It was amazing. Anyway, thanks for the $1.99. Impeach JB Pritzker, make Illinois great again. By the way, most people don't know this. Most people are too young to remember this. And I have to admit, I was a big fan of Edgar when he was when he was governor. But one of the things he did in order to balance the budget was to push out all of the pension responsibilities. There was a general known pension calculation that you needed like 60 to 70% of the assets due within X amount of years or something. It was a common thing. And the state said, nope, we're going to ignore that. And we're just going to push out that responsibility in order to balance the budget. And that's what they did. And why is the state of Illinois in so much trouble right now financially? Because of that. Because they cannot meet their pension responsibilities without severely cutting other things or severely overspending because of the huge pension responsibility. So anyway, quick historical fact. Again, at the time, I thought Governor Edgar was wonderful. And then I did some research when somebody brought this to my attention and realized that they were absolutely right. So hindsight, of course, is always 2020. Maybe at the time it was like, what else are we going to do? But kind of like what the federal government's doing right now with short-term bonds. The only way that they can even remotely hope to be able to afford the interest payments is by only doing short-term debt instead of long-term debt. But that will only drive up the interest rates on short-term debt eventually. So anyway, but I digress. But anyway, thanks for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Rizzo529, good to see you. Just looking on 500 Farm. Oh, okay. Is that the comment you made about the 4060 Ti's? Where are you listing the 5060 Ti's? I've got them listed on VAST and they're registered. But yeah, we can go over 500.farm and show you where I'm like, why I'm pricing things the way I am. Because at 14 cents, if I was able to get 14 cents, I'd be doing backflips. Well, maybe not backflips. I'd want to be doing backflips. Let's put it that way. Max Voltage got second in poker this week. My buddy has won back to back. Yeah, I have not been able to play because I'm working second shift, unfortunately. So not available on Wednesday nights anymore, which sucks. Am I still leading, or did you now take over because of your recent good placings because I'm not there? Did I say your name, Sunflower Mama? Well, I'm saying your name now. There you go. Let's see. Cisco Cat, no more state pensions. These workers can get 401k like the rest of us. Well, again, yes, agreed. See, the problem is that when you're talking about teacher pensions, they're 403bs. They actually do fund some of their own pension, and they're also affected by this. But again, I digress. We won't go into all that financing, but my problem with the Illinois pensions is the ability to work somewhere for 25 years and then work in another government agency within the state of Illinois and be able to double dip on your pension. there's something wrong with that. That's not the way that the system is supposed to work. So that I do have a problem with. I don't think they ever shut that off. They talked about it, but I don't think they ever did it. Yes. I mean, I got bought out on a pension that I had, gosh, it's probably 2008, somewhere around that, 2006, 2008, somewhere around there. My Motorola pension just said, yep, here you go. Take it or leave it. And Rabbit Master said, yeah, 4060 Ti makes more money. Interesting. I don't know why that would be though. Tell you about my CCNA. Well, funny you mentioned about the CCNA, cause I pivoted again. Well, there's a couple things going on. One is I did, nobody from my work ever watches this. So, I did interview for another warehouse, position. So if I get that, I definitely won't be getting the CCNA. I'm still probably not getting the CCNA. I'm pivoting. If I decide to still go that direction, if in other words, if I don't get this job, then I'm going to pivot to something slightly different, more like a DevOps position. Basically would be getting like a Kubernetes certification, why can I never remember what the hell it's called? Like Terraform, and basically learning how to deploy machine learning apps, things like that. I have a lot to learn on that, but the actual path to getting the certifications is shorter, and it's things that I can more readily do and replicate in my quote unquote home lab, where I can practice things here. So that's another part of it, and it pays more. So yeah, that's kind of where I pivoted to, but right now that whole thing is on hold until I find out what's going on with this new position. Because if I do get this new position, it will be more, it'll be about the same number of total hours to start, but it'll be less travel hours. And I have already in my mind kind of how I want to move forward and things I would want to do in this position. And I think eventually everybody's hours would become less. But again, not getting ahead of myself, but I already have like ideas and things like that. So I'm hoping that it comes to fruition, but we'll have to wait and see. I only had the first interview. I've got at least 2 more rounds of interviews beyond this one before a decision would be made. And I've been down this road before where I've gotten down to the final 2 twice and wasn't the one picked. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, that's the update there. It is on hold, and I most likely will not be going the CCNA route. The other thing was regarding the CCNA is that there aren't as many, there's not a huge amount of growth in that field right now. Is it needed? Yeah. I mean, there are still people that are needed in that field. But these other certifications I would be going after in the DevOps type of field, that would, there's much more need in that sector right now. So the possibility of getting like a junior DevOps position or something like that would have higher potential pay as well as high potential hiring. So I don't know. We'll see. That is something recent where I looked at that earlier in the week because I started thinking about it. I actually started looking at some Reddit threads and some other communities, and they were all be like, you know what, the worst thing about being in network engineering is being on call all the time. And I'm like, oh crap, I don't want to be on call all the time. I really don't. And then I'm like, yeah, and everybody was talking about it. It's like, yeah, generally you're gonna have to be on call. It's kind of part of the gig. I was like, okay. So then I then basically said, hey, I didn't ask it this way before I asked the AI. I'm like, given what we have been talking about, my experience and what I do in my basement and the things I'm interested in, what is going network engineering the best path for what you think with the experience that we've talked about, or is there another path? And this other path was what they identified. So anyway, that's where my thoughts are right now. But again, a lot of things, very fluid right now. Very fluid. Don't know exactly the direction, but decisions will be made. There are deadlines, shall we say, where right now it'd probably be like about 2 weeks before I would know anything about this new position. And then once that decision would be made, then it would lay things out clearer going forward for me. So we'll see. Alrighty. Let's see here. 30C in North Ontario with wind chill supposed to be 40C. Yeah, I am working night shift. Oh, good times. Good times. All right, so I missed that one up, so I'm going to make sure I got that. And there's the CCNA comment that I just said. It reset like every 4 weeks. No idea why. Oh, well, that stinks. I will message you after the stream. Okay, now I thought that's who you were. I wasn't sure, but now I know who you are. So thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I was actually going to reach out to you and ask you about it. Cause yeah, so we'll talk. I was already planning on it. Mining King coming in. I won't say what DJ does. That's just not me, but I appreciate $20. Sorry, $19.99. He says, thanks for the VAST.AI customer service. When Max AI help desk. Hey, I already have help desk. I have hours. I actually have office hours. They keep changing because of my shift changing, but I do have office hours. In fact, I had office hours this morning at 10 a.m. Although that's not my standard time. In fact, this particular person asked for office hours on Friday, and I had to reach out to him and say, I can't. I got an interview today. I got to prepare for it. I can't do it. Can you do it tomorrow at 10? He's like, yeah, no problem. So he was like really cool about it. So I do, if that person's here, again, thank you for being flexible. I appreciate it. And I have not heard back from this person. We had to kind of cut it short. I mean, I gave him a little bit over an hour. But we couldn't get through everything. And we're going to go over something that I came across with this person. Let me go back. No, I have not gotten an email from him. So I'm kind of curious how it went. But anyway, again, sorry, I'm digressing. Thank you so much for the $19.99 super chat, Mountain King. I very much appreciate it. Always happy to help the person that got me started on this. Mining King, sorry, the Mountain King now. He was the one who got many of us interested in doing GPU rental for GPU compute. And when I had been like, I hadn't spent a lot of time looking for something, but I knew that it existed and I was trying to find a good fit. And so when he brought this up, I was like, yes, that's what I've been looking for. And that was the start of my journey. And that was over 2 years now. That was in November, I think, of 2023 when I started all this. Maybe even earlier than that. Might even been earlier than that. Anyway, it's definitely been over 2 years. So yeah, anyway, you're welcome. You're welcome, Mining King. More than happy to. If you do get a chance, I'm really curious what they did for you. I was trying to help him out with something, and I did help him fix part of it, which we'll talk about tonight. But The rest of it, I wasn't really sure how they fixed it, so I'm curious. All right, let me just okay. Jay Styles, good to see you, sir. Go cyber starting for my guys out of college that I hire. Oh, cybersecurity. That has been a thought. Kind of the direction I'm going could go towards cybersecurity. Cybersecurity usually takes a bit more, I think, as far as knowledge, but Jay Styles, I'd be happy to have a conversation, kind of interested in that as well. Interestingly enough, one of the things I had thought about pivoting this channel a little bit to was actually documenting my journey in pivoting careers. So we'll see where this new job goes, because obviously that will determine whether or not I do that pivot with the channel. I don't know. I just have obviously a lot of things I want to do. Maybe it might be a new channel. I don't know. But we'll see. All right. So Slom7 says, just do your own business, setting up and maintaining small, medium business locally. My buddy does it. He's killing it. Makes easy $250K without trying. Charges $450 per hour. When you say maintain, you mean just like you're like talking about basically being an MSP, right? That's what you're talking about, Swamp7. Yeah, but I like the idea of being my own boss, but I also like the idea of having that security of having a paycheck coming in each week. And then having a side hustle that is my own business where I have that freedom outside of the job I'm doing. So whether or not I would ever be able to, so in other words, I would want to establish a business, make sure that it's sustainable, and then make a decision as to whether or not I would go full-time into my own business. So that's my path that I would want to do. Yeah, I'm not exactly a risk taker. All right. Squirrel Masters is talking about the Mountain King. Good evening. You have been having way too much fun playing in the snow on those quads. Yeah. Was there snow out there? I guess maybe I missed that video, possibly. I didn't see him in the snow yet. He just removed the tag. They can do that manually. Which... Oh, the actual like error tag, you mean? Did a self-test on the machine. Okay. Yeah, I gotta go back in and install the VAST CLI and actually run tests. I have definitely figured out that VAST now is very strict about the upload and download speed, because everything since they went to like auto verification, I'm not getting verified at anything. And that's because my upload's only 350 megabytes. Or megabits. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. All right. Red Panda's here, man. And he is just spamming the chat. Jeez. All right. Let me, UFD Tech got me into mining back in the day. Really interesting. Unfortunately, Brett insulted me on a live stream and I had to leave. Really? I don't generally watch him on live streams, so I don't know what he's like on a live stream. But wow, that just seems, just from what I've watched, that seems out of character. Interesting. I'd love to hear the story behind that, like what the context was. Automatic Beats, good to see you, sir. All right, let's see. How much Pokemon did you buy today, Squirrel? Says Squirrel Masters to Red Panda. Swamp7, so he basically just sets up Unify networks and runs drops. Have to risk it to make any real dollars. Stop making other people rich. Yeah, I know. For me to run drops probably would be a little much just because physically I'm not there. Maybe when I get my hip replaced, that's the other thing kind of going on. Then maybe. But for right now, limited on running wires and things like that from a physical standpoint. But yeah, well, there was shoot, what was his name? He used to come into my streams all the time. I had dinner with him once. I'm sorry, drawing a blank on his name, but yeah, that's what he did. He basically ran everybody's wires and set up like networking and stuff. Red Panda, way too much. In other words, bought way too much. Get any good cards today, Red Panda? Is he talking about GPUs or is he talking about Pokemon? We do not talk about Pokemon in this stream. Stop it. This is not a Pokemon channel at all. Swamp 7, same UFD tech got me into mining and got my BTC stolen on Nice Hack also. Oh, wow. Brandon Coin. I'm trying to remember who got me into, I guess it really was Savage Mine. He was kind of like, I believe, the first person I came across. And then after that, started watching Red Panda. Now he was second, not first. Not first. First in everybody's hearts, of course, though, since he's here. Yeah. Swamp 7 says, my grandma just got her hip replaced, said she wished she didn't put it off so long. You know, it's funny you mention that because I tell that to people and they're like, you know, well, what do you, I forget exactly how they put it, but people are like, so you sure you're going to get your hip replaced? I'm like, well, here's the thing. I've never heard anybody say, oh man, I wish I had put off getting my hip replaced. Nobody says that. Everybody says after the surgery, the actual hip pain is completely gone. Now, you're still in a lot of pain after the surgery because the muscles and tendons and ligaments have all been stretched to put things where they're supposed to go. So you still have pain, but the actual joint pain itself is completely gone. So, yeah. So anyway, I do have a doctor's appointment on Monday. So the first step is Monday and we'll see where it goes. I'm also getting an exoskeleton for my hip on Monday. I did decide to move forward with that, and so up until the point of getting the hip replacement, I'll have that to assist me, which will help me exercise, keep the joint moving, a lot of different things. So I will be doing a review and be doing a video on that. But I will, if the hip replacement is going to happen relatively soon, then I have the ability to send it back, and they will refund the money. But since I am doing a review, they did give me a really, really awesome deal on it. It's an expensive device, and I was dealing with the reseller. So basically they just sold it to me at cost, in exchange for a video. So looking forward to doing that. I'll have an affiliate link with it too. So hopefully I will get a few sales out of it. That would be nice. But there really aren't any videos on those kind of devices as it relates to hip problems. And now if you go into the reviews, there's lots of people that say, yeah, I've got a bad hip and this thing helps me get through the day when I couldn't get through the day before. So it will, if I wanted to, it will put off, be able to put off the surgery and will make me much, much more mobile. What it won't do is help me be able to stand for longer periods of time. Right now, I can't stand for, more than 15 to 20 minutes without it just really starting to hurt. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Savage Mind. Rest in peace. Let's see. Let's see here. He was getting really condescending to a lot of his viewers probably 5 years ago. They had moved to Pennsylvania and his son's health care wasn't going well. Oh, okay. So in other words, he was just in a bad place. Not an excuse, but you can certainly understand why he probably mentally wasn't in the best place. I am familiar with his son's condition. I know he's done a number of fundraisers on it. He's got a rare congenital defect, I believe. So Rizzo said, I had asked a simple question about whether or not a 110 millimeter CPU liquid cooler was sufficient for an Alienware PC he was giving away. He got really shitty in the live stream at me. Oh, I see. So basically you were questioning his design choices, is what it sounds like. It's a valid question. Don't get mad at the question as long as you don't get mad at the answer. Being like, yeah, I think it'll be fine, and leave it at that. But interesting. Mr. Tiger 0002, have you tried drinking hydrogen water? It helps reduce inflammation. I have not. I've gone keto, which I'm off of right now. So yeah, the hip pain's a little bit greater right now. But yeah, I'll have to look at that. I will have to look at that. Because yeah, osteoarthritis is all about inflammation. It's all about keeping the inflammation down. And for those people that may not have heard this before, my father had kidney disease because he took ibuprofen for a long time, and I don't want kidney disease as a result. So that's one of the reasons why I want to, in one way or the other, get this taken care of. So I'm not taking ibuprofen, so it is painful. If I take the ibuprofen, it's completely manageable. And I'm sure there's lots of people that manage their pain by keeping the inflammation down with ibuprofen or Aleve or in any of the NSAIDs. But again, it does over time take its toll on your kidneys. Rizzo said, sorry, Mr. X625. Hey Max, what's up? Everything okay? Everything's good. Everything's good. Beginning of the year. I'm feeling good about the year. We're going places this year, one way or the other. Hope you guys have been enjoying some of the shorts. I didn't have any shorts this last week because my live stream, I just didn't feel like there was anything like super topical last time that was clickable, and so I didn't really post anything from the last one. Hopefully tonight there'll be a few things that I'm going to talk about. Rizzo says, I donated a good amount of dollars to his channel and to the SynGap. Yeah, it was SynGap, that's what it was called. Research fund for his son directly. I had to leave the channel. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm sure he kind of felt a little betrayed. Yeah, I get it. I think he moved overseas somewhere. One video I seen yeah, he's actually moved back to South Africa. Like I said, I haven't really been following how his treatment for his son has been going. I know he moved here for it, and now he's moving back. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that, but obviously it didn't, for one way or the other, either it wasn't getting the treatment he was hoping for in the States, or just didn't feel like it was necessary to be here anymore. I don't know. But yeah, he's moving back to, or has already moved back, I believe, to South Africa. Capsaicin is a natural anti-inflammatory. Yes, I am aware. Appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. That sounds about right. The timing of it. But like I said, I think he's moved back already, back to South Africa. All right. Finally got through the chat. Appreciate you guys being chatty. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, let's start getting into a few of the things. So first thing I wanted to go over was one of the things I did this week was I finally fixed my NAS drive issue, and let me go to my shared screen and let me I might have a visitor tonight. I don't know. But that's right. I have a lot of things to go over tonight, so I'm just want to make sure that if he does show up, that I see him. All right. So this is my Unraid, and down here is where the drives are. And this disk 3 was viewed, it had an error, it had a smart error. And it was a 10 terabyte drive. And so I didn't have a spare terabyte drive, or 10 terabyte drive. So I had to get another drive, at least one. So I'm like, all right, I'm doing some looking, and I'm like, the 14 terabyte drives are basically the same price as the 10 terabyte drives. I'm just going to upgrade to a larger drive. This is one of the advantages of running the Unraid standard mode is what I'll call it, XLS file format, is that your drives can be of unequal size, but none of your drives, none of your data drives can exceed the size of the parity drive. So what I ended up doing was I wanted to make sure I had a spare. So I bought two 14 terabyte drives directly from Seagate. They were Iron Wolf drives. And so now I have two 14 terabyte drives. How am I going to incorporate them into this array? So what I did was, you can see now I have both my parity drives are now 14 terabyte drives. So I had to do one at a time. And it was a process. So the first time I took out one of the parity drives, put in one of the 14 terabyte drives. And the way I had to identify them was I had to look at what the serial number was and then match it to the drive. So I was pulling out drives like, is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? But it wasn't too hard to find the parity drives. It was a little hard to find disk 3, but I was able to find it. So anyway, so I pulled out one and then started it back up, started the array, and then immediately started doing a data rebuild. Problem was it did a restart partway through the data rebuild. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I did some searching, and basically it's like, yeah, it definitely doesn't like it when it's trying to back up to something else. And it also doesn't like it when something's trying to back up to it, changing the data within the array. So I basically shut off all my backups from my computer and my wife's computer, as well as the backup to the backup NAS. So I stopped all that. Once I had done that, the first one went through, then put the other 14 terabyte drive in. That one went through. By the way, each one of these takes about just short of 24 hours. I think it was like 21 hours. So basically a day's time in order to do each of these. Then I went in and took one of the 10 terabyte drives I took out and replaced the one that had a smart error. And now I have my other 10 terabyte that was the parity drive as my backup drive, plus the one with the error. So I have two that are errored out. Sorry, one that's a clean drive and the other one that's an errored out that has a smart error on. What I did find out was running, based on the error that's on it, running it short term as a backup. In other words, if I had one that like had a hard fault, I could put that drive in and basically have it limp along until I can get a replacement. But I do have one of the parity drives left, the original parity drives that I have as a good backup drive. But I might end up, when I do finally get, hopefully, get a 4-bay NAS, I was planning on using that 10 terabyte in there, and then just using my one with a single smart error as a backup in case I do get a failed drive. That's the plan. But anyway, so yeah, this took about 5 total days to get through. So yeah, it was quite the ordeal. But not hard at all. Just had to remember to turn off the array. You want to turn off the array or do a shutdown so it turns off the array before the actual whole thing shuts down. There's a slight chance of data loss if there's something being written to the array, if you just do a simple shutdown on it. So yeah, you want to make sure you shut it down so that it turns off the array first and then shuts it down. So yeah. Alrighty. Yes, Unraid rocks. I do like Unraid. Give me that Digimon hash rate. Oh my god, how many? You did 4? By the way, Panda, bits please YT. I mean, the universe was trying to tell you something, and you just refused what it was trying to tell you, which was, come hell or high water, whether he liked it or not, he's getting that hash rate, and he's gonna like it. All right. I had gotten to work when you were going through the last one, so I couldn't really comment. Unfortunately, I was already like rushing to get into work. All right. Let me see what else I might have missed. Oh, I guess I didn't. Okay. Where are my panda socks? Yeah, I'm fired up. Goat. I'm fired up. No, I just thought it was funny. So I don't know if you were at Panda's stream earlier, but he did a wheel to spin for hash rate. Bits please YT won it and said reroll, and then Dan Bulmer won it, said give it to Bits please YT, and then they rolled it again and it went right back to Bits please YT. The odds of that happening are much less than 1%. And then finally on the 4th roll, somebody else won it. Yeah. The world only makes sense if you force it. Oh, if you force it to. From Bruce Wayne. Alrighty. Get that digi-crap out of here. Nothing wrong with Digibyte. Nope was dealing with power issues the last 2 days. Well, that doesn't sound like fun. Not at all. Yeah, he needs to buy lotto tickets or some type of lottery ticket, definitely. And yes, obviously it was rigged. It was definitely rigged. You know, he always says like, I don't have any ownership on this website, and like nobody's accusing him of it. But now I'm like, why does he doth protest too much? I now I'm starting to believe that he does. I mean, especially after this. Man, I don't know. Yes, completely rigged. Yeah, see there, he admitted it. He admitted it. Somebody screenshot that. He admitted it. Alrighty. So that was basically what happened with Unraid. But glad that was done. Some other things that are coming down the line. I ordered a OCP card. Let me see if I can find this thing. OCP 3.0 network adapters. This should give you an idea. All right, let me. Oh yeah, you're watching it. So basically, this is an OCP card, OCP 3.0 card. The NIC I have in my Octoserver is a 100 gig card, and I'm not going to buy a 100 gig switch just so I can use that. So I bought this for $75. Hopefully it works. And we'll see. But yeah, I bought a one that has 10 gig, two 10 gig ports on it, and I'll just slide it out, slide the other one in, and go from there. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I did want to update that or upgrade that. I'll probably be doing the same thing with my 84090 rig in an effort to try to increase the the amount that it makes, because really they never saturate upload. They saturate download it from time to time, but if I can basically get it to the point where it's like 1.5 gig down, that's going to be a heck of a lot better than the typical 600 to 700 that I get with it. So I'd be more than doubling the speed. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Just trying to keep up with the chat. Swamp 7, I would have sent you one for shipping costs. Just pitched all my 10 gig. Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, do you need a 100 gig OCP card? Let me know. Sounds like you might. At least have a backup. Typically, actually, it is actually, I believe, a 25 gig card. Yeah, it's a 25. Sorry, you're right. It's a 25 gig card. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Because, yeah, the 25 gig cards are much less expensive than the 10 gig cards. And I have extra SFP Plus modules. So, yes, I did do that because they are backwards compatible. You are correct. Good call. I'm glad you caught that. Like I said, it might already been past that in my mind. But like I said, that's coming in on Monday. So I'm going to be installing that Tuesday morning. And hopefully just be able to move the network port over to it. Maybe change the port mapping, the port forward mapping, if it changes the IP address. But we'll see. We will see. Oh, that's not good. Are you guys still there? Okay. That's not good. I don't know what happened, but I think I'm back. But boy, that is fuzzy. All right. I had obviously had a temporary glitch. Did you guys see the temporary glitch as well? Or is that just me? Oh, yeah. The new South Park has been just brutal on the president. Brutal. Funny as hell, but brutal. Absolutely brutal. And when I say brutal, I mean brutal as in it got downright uncomfortable there for a bit. They pushed it to its limit. Oh, just bought quantity 100 gig OCP cards. Yeah, I could have saved you some money. I know people want the data, but yeah, I'm not willing to spend that much yet. I am going to upgrade my internal network to 10 gig. Those things that have 2.5 gig, I'll leave on 2.5 gig, but they'll be able to actually run at 2.5 gig. And but other things I'll start getting 10 gig for certain computers, or I will start putting those in. So I don't know. I probably gonna get a Unify 8 port. Actually, technically it's a 10 port, but they call it an 8 port. Switch, layer 3 switch, and do that. So yeah, that's gonna be one of the next things I do in the network to increase the download speed for all of my instances. So that's what she said. Yeah, I think you mean Harry. Little blip, got it. No, we aren't still here. Nice. All right, let's see. The stream was blipping like Pandas usually does. Are those costly? The 10 gig switches? Yeah, they're not cheap. Let's see. I had it up here. Here we go. So it's this one, I think. So $349? No, I think this one. No, that's the PoE. So it's $499. In order to get 10 gig. So, yeah. So it ain't cheap. If I wanted to go cheap, I could go down to 159 and do 2.5 gig. That thought has crossed my mind of just doing the 2.5 gig and making sure that if I put in like 10 gig NICs in each of the, I don't know. I'm looking at that price difference now. I'm like, do I really need 10 gig when I can't even get fiber? Now, the problem is if I do get fiber, I probably will get 5 gig. And so it would be nice if I could get the full amount going to 1 unit. I don't know. I'm still kind of going back and forth, but it's either going to be the Pro XG 8 PoE or the Flex 2.5G. I do not need PoE on the switch, the 10 gig switch in the basement. And the one thing I don't like about this, I wish there was something less that had 10 gig. But this has got ether lighting, it's got PoE++. I don't need any of that. Just give me a switch. And they don't have a basic 10 gig switch. So, which is really annoying. Really annoying. So, anyway, that's going to be something. 25 gig NICs are like $100 for a pack of 3? Where? And that's the thing is, so as long as it's backwards compatible, yeah, I might as well just go that direction. But again, if I can't go out to the internet at a higher speed, it doesn't really make much sense for me to have internal, unless I'm like doing like NAS type stuff. That would be different. So I definitely will be putting a 10 gig in the NAS so that hopefully I can get better and quicker backups. Yeah, Swamp 7, where are these deals? LOL. All right, so yeah, you guys are definitely hitting on things I planned on talking about tonight, but in a completely different order than what I planned on, which is fine, absolutely fine. Let's talk a little bit about the VAST.AI issues, and it's interesting because Mining King was here. I don't know if he still is, but he is not the only one that has been having this issue, but there are a whole bunch of quirky issues that pop up that allow you to not get rented, and what it all comes down to is the boot partition is full, and the commands that you use in order to figure that out is obviously SSH into the instance, but then do a df space -h, and that will show you like all of your like basic folders and show you like what is like of your partitions, what's used up, what's not. And what I'm finding is in a lot of these cases when I'm troubleshooting this stuff, the boot partition doesn't matter what size it is, 200 gig, 50 gig, 100 gig, 150 gig, it doesn't seem to matter. It's been filling up really quick. And it will show you that it's in the /var. Well, I take that back. It'll show you that it's in your boot partition. Then you run some other commands, but basically what it really comes down to is every instance I've seen this, it's in the /var/lib/containerd directory, which is where all of your Docker instances sit. So you have to prune it. So you run a prune command. I forget exactly what it is, but I've got it stored somewhere. Anyway, look up the Docker prune command and then do like a -a space -- volumes, and it will get rid of anything that's not running, anything that's not active. And I've taken people from 200 gig down to 30 just by running that command. And then things seem to work okay. But a lot of times you still got to do a reinstall to make sure the daemon is updated. There's lots of things that can occur, but what people have been finding is that the daemon won't update. And the reason why the daemon won't update is because there's no space. So yeah, if you get any weird errors, that is exactly where I would start. Make sure you're checking to see if that partition, your boot partition, is full. And if so, then check your container D directory. Odds are that's what's taking up most of the space, and then do a prune command on it. So you're welcome. That was a pain every time I've run into that. And the worst part is that when you do fix it, you don't know whether you actually completely fixed it, because the errors don't go away right away on the actual dashboard, the VAST dashboard. It takes a while for it to go away sometimes. So anyway, that has been the biggest thing I've been finding. Now, another thing that came up today was, I didn't realize this, but there's a lot more ISPs that are running CGNet. I knew like anything wireless was running CGNet, but I didn't realize there are fiber providers that are running CGNet. So I came across one today. I think it's called Blue Sky. And and I was trying to help him, and I went, wait a minute, your IP address is 100 dot something. He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's not a public IP address. He's like, it's not? I'm like, no. So all those port forwards you set up probably won't work. So if Swamp 7, if you have any idea on how to make CGNet work with VAST, I'm all ears. But everything I've seen in the Discord server for VAST, I haven't seen anybody mention like how to make that work other than call your ISP and get a public IP address. So yeah. Retro Mike Tech, I'm not going to read that comment yet because he just came out with a really, really good video. In fact, I was watching it right before. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right here. Consolidating my crypto home lab with the Zima board 2. I love this. I love the video. I will tell you, I had it on in the background. I wasn't really paying attention. I need to go back and rewatch it because I was preparing for the stream. But I love that. I love all these like what Geek does with the small racks. Anything with like the Zima board. I love how you can fit in really, really small space, like something that is extremely, extremely capable. So if you have not watched this video and you have any interest in home labs, go watch Retro Mike's video. Now that I said that, now let me read his comment. Max, you can set up auto pruning with a cron scheduler, and you can also set the max log size in the Docker daemon.json. Both excellent suggestions, because yes, I have run into that where the one of the logs got too big, and I don't remember the commands I ran, but I did actually bring it back down. So sorry, I just read Goat's hey, my rack is adequately sized for how it's used. Thank you very much. Size does not matter. You have a really nice rack, Goat. Just saying. And nobody clipped that. Oh, please share a link to his video. That I can do. There you go. So I hadn't seen you in a while in my streams. I'm happy you're here, Retro Mike. It could not have been better timing because I like saw your video and I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. I love those types of videos. Anytime like, you know, Raid Owl or Hardware Haven or I cannot think of his name. There's Lawrence Systems, but there's another guy. He actually just got over 1 million subs. And he lives in Illinois too. God, I cannot think of his name. Anyway, but I love their videos when they start doing the small rack stuff and what you can do and all that kind of stuff. So, alrighty. But again, I appreciate that. Yeah, I should really look into that. Writing that down.
Machines can crash and tempers can flare.
Log.
Electric bills.
All right. Thanks, sir. Appreciate that. It's just cold in there. You can do it. Run a remote server, DigitalOcean, and running WireGuard. I didn't back when Starlink didn't have static IPs. Oh, you did it? I think you mean you did it back when Starlink didn't have a static IP available. So basically, you're just basically talking like running a virtual server basically off of something, whether Hetzner or DigitalOcean or something like that, basically. Interesting. I will look into that. Thank you for that. You guys give me all kinds of video ideas if I ever do them, but yeah, you're giving me ideas, which I appreciate ideas. Yeah, actually, this particular person does have just got a Ubiquity setup, so should be able to run WireGuard fairly easily. All right, I'll look into that. Yes, exactly. Galaxy 9 synthesis. It's not the size of the rack that matters, but the throughput. Max, I'm double batted. I can't forward public IP ports. I rent a cheap VPS, install WireGuard and NGI. And I wondered if NGINX was going to be part of it. Proxy to handle the port routing. My VAST system's routed through that without any issues. Okay. Oh, you did a video on it. Alrighty. Well, if I do a video on it, I will refer to your video. Like I said, I just came across this today, so I hadn't done any research on it because I did it at like I said, as part of my 10 o'clock call this morning, and then had to go straight to work, and then came home and just started preparing for this. So, got it. Okay, cool. Thank you. I knew what you meant by double natted, not batted. Oh, exactly. But make sure you charge a crap ton for bandwidth because most hosting providers charge for data. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I do up mine quite a bit. And that's why some of my, like, I make way more than what my actual, like, requested rate is. Like, for instance, my 3090 is stated at 10 cents, but with the bandwidth, it's at 15. So, yeah. And maybe that's not a good strategy, but that's what I've always done. I love whenever I search for how to remove IPMI password. Google send me to your video. LOL saves my butt a few times. Interesting. Would you please set up a new VAST server from start to finish live on stream one day soon? Probably not one day soon. The toughest part, honestly, is because you can't just, well, you can have an instruction guide, but I do have a short on how to install Ubuntu from start to finish to prepare for a VAST install, and then it's just using VAST install tools, or VAST tools, I should say. And I've shared that link a number of times. Let me see if I have it here. Yes, right here. And this is the link to VAST tools. And just read the instructions and follow them. It's really that simple. And then the other part of it is make sure you have a router where you can forward ports. That's key. Absolutely key. If you have a consumer router that can forward ports, I've not had a lot of really good luck with either ISP routers that say that they can forward ports or consumer grade. So I would either, in my opinion, I'd either go with TP-Link Omada, Mikrotik, or Ubiquity. Obviously, my choice is Ubiquity. That's what I went with. But any of those three can handle from a processing perspective. The consumer routers, it's hit or miss. Let's just put it that. It's hit or miss. And I've had plenty of problems. Like I had a TP-Link, high-end TP-Link consumer router, and it did not handle, and I've used a number of them. I tried an Asus, I tried a whole bunch. So definitely would recommend that. Yes, I would recommend installing OS on one drive and the Doctor data on a different, faster drive. You can do that. And that's in those instructions that you can do it that way. I did it that way originally. And then I started installing it on one drive, but just with two different partitions. So there are definitely pros to doing two different drives. Especially from a reliability standpoint. I do have one that's on two drives. I don't even remember which one it is, but I do have one. Lots of people tell me that. Glad you have a point of reference for a quick fix. Yeah, there was oh shoot, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there's oh, I remember cleaning a USB drive, like an old mining Hive OS drive that has multiple partitions on it. I always went back to a Brandon Coin video that said how to clean a drive to basically get it back down to unassigned, not formatted drive. And so yeah, I'm like, how do I do that again? Let me just find Brandon Coin's video. So yeah, I probably watched that thing at least a half a dozen times. All right, so anyway, so that's the first thing. Said CGNat. Occasionally you'll get bandwidth errors. Sometimes that, depending on how it's set up, that could be a cabling issue, especially if you're using a riser of some sort. So just be aware of that. That could be an indication that your actual like host adapter, riser, whatever you want to call it, could be failing. But a lot of times these things pop up, you do a reboot, and then you never see them again for like 6, 8, 12 months, if ever. So that happens too. And then lastly, like I said, the daemon issues, you'll see like the daemon won't update. Again, go back to the boot drive, and commonly it's because there's no space to do the update for the daemon. Bottom line is you don't want to run out of space. That leads to problems, and sometimes the system really doesn't know how to deal with that. Again, leads to maintenance. Yeah, definitely going to be doing something on that with the cron scheduling to prune, as well as limiting the log files. But make sure you are updating your Linux every so often. And in that link I just provided, there is a actual like command on everything to do it like automatically. Just go down in the list and you'll see it on that page. And then making sure that you're doing your GPU driver updates as well. You want to make sure you're on a relatively new version of CUDA, especially important with Blackwell GPUs. You definitely want to make sure you're on 13.0. I found anything that was on earlier than 13.0 wasn't getting rented as much. Once I got everything up to 13.0, things started getting rented more. That could be coincidence, but that's what I have found. All right. Let's see. 50 series are doing it on hard mode. Do the NVIDIA installer from the website. Don't use the Ubuntu repository. Kernel version will not match, and DKMS will have issues. So I used to find that, Swamp 7. I don't find that anymore. You just got to make sure that you install the open version. And I have not run into that problem anymore. But I used to follow that religiously. But now I've started, and it's not from the Ubuntu repository. I actually update it so that it's the NVIDIA repository. So yeah, I actually install 580 dash server or dash open dash server or dash server dash open. I don't know. I always bring up the list and I forget which goes first, server or open, but that's the one I install. But yeah, there's the other option of doing the .run install. And that used to always be the way to do it. But definitely don't ever install the standard 580 driver via the Ubuntu repository or via even the NVIDIA repository, because it will not work. You can't use the proprietary driver. You have to use the open driver. Galaxy 9 Synthesis says, easy for me to say, I recently upgraded the main trunk of my home network from 1 gig to 2.5 gig TP-Link Omada hardware. Nice. You can install the full CUDA toolbox, but it can break when updating. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know if I run into that. Like I said, I haven't run into that, and it seems to be working. Actually, Swamp 7, if you want to try, I have a few GPUs available on that one you were testing. I'd love to see if you are still running into problems running things. Like I said, now finally after the GPU speed got better, it was now being rented fairly consistently. It hasn't been fully rented yet, but it's much better than it was. Yeah, right now it's being rented 2 out of 6, which, like I said, is way more than it has been. It had been like unrented. But yeah, the speeds on it are much better than it was. All right. What I also wanted to go over was, I'm just looking down my list to see what else. Wanted to go over community solar and hourly pricing for, as I finally got a new bill. So let me show you that. That's the old one. This was my August bill. This was the old, the oldest bill that I had been, the most recent bill I had gotten, which I got back in August, and I hadn't gotten one until I got this one. And you can see it's only billed through the 8th of September, but yet it has all these credits all the way through December for the community solar. So unfortunately, this bill doesn't show the delivery charge change yet, because they came out on like the 2nd of September. And I think that was where they were having problems. They basically made it so that they were trying to calculate something midstream, and that was, I think, where their problem was. So I think they basically finally said, no, let's just move the date from the 2nd to the 8th of the change, or the 9th when the new bill starts, and then hopefully they were able to process it. So that's fine. I'm not worried about a week. But my next bill better come in, and it better be the lower distribution facility charge. But anyway, so yeah, right now, over $1,100 in credits from the community solar, and I will get charged. Well, let's do that. Let's do the math on that. So it was 1157.29 times 0.8. So I'll end up paying $925, but I get a credit for 1157. So save me over $125 on that amount. So, oh, what am I talking about? $225. Yeah, I can math. So that works out really well. I'm curious if they will bill me this, if the community solar company will bill me this all at once, which is fine if they do. So I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But anyway, that was part of what I wanted to show. So I'll be really curious to see what my next one was. But if you look like here in September, from August to the middle of August, middle of September, $513 in credits from the solar, meaning that I saved a little over $100 that month just from doing community solar. Now let's add in, where is it? Right there. Let's add in, I know those are really small numbers, but I will zoom in on this one right here. right here, 50% savings for that month, that middle of August to middle of September, 50% savings, $334, almost $335 in savings. That is the most I have ever saved in a month on hourly pricing. So yeah, pretty happy about that. Not even pretty happy about that, very happy about that. So what is my net? My net, without the community solar, is 12.2. If you add in the savings from community solar, I'm at 10.8. Now, assuming it still happens, if I get that transmission rate changed, my effective rate would have been that month 7.7 cents. Now we're talking. So looking forward to hopefully seeing some good things when that finally hits. So I really want to see that next bill. And see that this down here, the distribution facility charge, is like 2.9 cents or 0.029 something. Because that's where the huge savings is going to be. So we'll see. We shall see. But that's the update. Things are now finally moving. They obviously fixed whatever problem they had. And so I would expect in another month, I'll probably get like a much bigger bill for the remainder of the time. And they just had to do this one bill right now to finish up my time on that rate. Otherwise, they would have just done all one bill, I would think. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I'm really curious to see what happens. I will obviously keep you guys up to date. But as I was saying, you go here, I saved $225 for going with community solar because it saves me 25%. So one of the things I wanted to mention tonight, I should have mentioned this a while ago, but there's a $200, and again, this is only for Illinois. There's other savings in other states, and I don't know if they're this. I haven't really looked to see exactly what it is. I don't think any of them are as high as 20%, but they are all a savings that is a no-brainer, honestly. So what it is, where is it? So I actually created this website, and I know I've shared this before. Where'd it go? Here it is. Community Solar Finder. And again, anybody want to give me a zip code to search? It's got to be in one of, let me just go back. It's got to be in Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, or Minnesota. Psalm 7 wants to give me his zip code or something, or a zip code near him. Doesn't have to necessarily be your actual zip code. All right, let me see. Can you share me the command to install? Let's see. Electric bill got in. Yes. Electric bill. I got it. It's one of those things. I'm excited to have gotten my bill, especially when I saved as much as I did. And there's no payment to be made. I will have to make a payment to the community solar company, obviously. But all these savings programs, it's just like, it feels like a hack. Oh, and on top of all this, they now have time of delivery time of use, which blows my mind because normally, like I said, it'd be like about 2.9. Everything I'm trying to remember. Shoot, I don't know where I put that. I looked it up, but really the main time of day where it's more expensive is from 1 to 7 p.m. So it's only 6 hours. But most of the time, it's significantly less for delivery. Like from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., I think, it's like 1.8 cents for delivery. It's stupid cheap. Like almost like half price of the standard rate. So I have to do some math to figure out what it would average out to be, assuming the same. And of course, I have solar panels. So from 1 to 7 p.m., I'm still generating solar during a period of that time. So it does help offset some of the power during that period of time. So yeah, I am excited. I need to get signed up for that on Monday. And if not Monday, it'll be Tuesday. Monday, like I said, it's a little busy. But at the very latest, I'm going to sign up for that on Tuesday. It just started. Like literally the 22nd is when they came out with an announcement on it. So I'm pretty excited to sign up. I do want to get it in writing as to what each of the time periods are and what the rates are for each of those time periods. Because that is not... There's a Reddit post that says these are what they are, but I can't find like an actual marketing piece of material that says this is what it is. It just, you go into the website and it says, look at all the money you're going to save. And it's like, great. Trust but verify is the way I always look at it. But yeah, it was like saying I would save another like $700 a year on this time of use. So, and I don't believe that they're wrong based upon what I'm looking at. But again, something else to look into and another thing that will lower my rate. And a lot of people are saying, well, why is the electric company doing this? Why are they lessening the amount of money that, that they're going to bring in by lowering? Because they want a load level. They want to move some of the load that you would normally see from 1 to 7 p.m. outside of that period of time. So they need to incentivize people to run things outside of that time. Run things when they are cheap. Run your dishwasher only at night. Do your laundry late at night. All of these things that take up decent amount. Pre-cool your house. You want to sleep when it's cold? Great. Cool your house down to 65 degrees at night if you want during the summer, and let it slowly come up during the day, or keep it cool up until the time where it really gets expensive. I mean, all of these things are strategies to live your life more comfortably, save money, all those things. So okay, worst ping 337.8. LOL, that's bad. What ping to my rig you're talking about? All right, 55108. Let's see what we got for Minnesota. All right, there's 4. So Clearway Community Solar 7% savings. It does have a $200 bill credit for anybody that signs up prior to January. It's actually 31st, I believe, not the 30th. But hey, let's just say it's the 30th. Don't shortchange yourself. Cooperative Energy Futures, according to the search that was done, says that it is 15% savings, but there's a $25 subscription fee. So that kind of eats into your savings by a lot. So I suppose if you use a ton of energy, then maybe this makes sense, but you'd have to do the math. SunShare is 11%, which again is more than 7%. And then Nexamp says that it is 10%, and it currently has a $100 Visa card special. So, and in each of these cases with Nexamp and Clearway Community Solar, that is an affiliate link, and it does support the channel if you take advantage of those offers. So anyway, but yes, find Community Solar. I will be adding to this site in the future. I haven't even looked at what kind of traffic it's been getting, but I haven't really promoted it much yet. But I will be promoting it a bit more. Still got some work to do. Like, this available providers is too light. So it has some formatting things I could do some work on. Not to mention when you actually type in the zip code, it's like super light. So, but anyway, but it's definitely functional. So check it out if you live in one of those 4 states. So worst ping 337.8. what is that ping you're referring to? Is it still that same damn thing? Here, let me look here. Do a refresh. Oh, interesting. Somebody went on the 8 GPU rig and not on the 6 GPU rig. So I've got 4 on one. I've got the same total number, but it looks like somebody moved from one to the other. Go figure. All right. So yeah, just to take advantage of that, and you're in one of these states, click on it. And even if you're not in one of those states, you can actually click on it, and I believe that they are in other states. So you can go straight to, like, click on Illinois, go here, view offer, and yeah, that's my real name. The F is not. I don't even know where they got the F from, but whatever. But you can put in your information and submit, and once you're here, you can put in when you're going to put in your information here with the state and everything, and then it'll give you some additional information on whether or not it's available where you are. And if it's not available, then they'll notify you when it does become available. There are some bills that do need to pass in states that haven't passed them yet in order to have community solar be fully available. So yeah. All right, let me okay. Let's see, anything else here? Don't see anything else in chat. I think that's about all I had tonight. I mean, it's an hour and a half. And my voice is not fully there right now. But again, I really appreciate, I always appreciate all of you for showing up, but Swamp 7, the Mountain King, Retro Mike, and of course Red Panda, but specifically Swamp 7 and Retro Mike for the help that they gave tonight on the stream. Appreciate it. Alrighty, guys. Well, be here like in about another 5 minutes, and let me know if you got any other questions. Otherwise, I thought I had some other things I was gonna mention. Let me look. I thought I had some other things listed. That's not it. That's not it. Where? There it is. Let's do this. I just want to go back to. I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else that I did not talk about that I had listed. Nope. Pretty much talked about everything I had in my list that I was going to talk about tonight. All right. Back to the chat. All right. So Mr. X came back and said, can you share me the command to install the open version of the NVIDIA driver? God, I'm trying to remember what the heck it is. I haven't used it in a while. Well, I can show you what I always do is instructions, and I'll do this a lot of times within the AI instead of doing it here, but I'll do it here for now because it'll bring up Gemini results. Instructions to install star.run NVIDIA driver. Yeah, there it is. Gives you that, but to install a star.run NVIDIA driver on Linux, you must disable Nouveau driver. Yeah, blah blah blah. I do that as part of the as part of the VAST install anyway. Okay, key steps involving making the file executable. So you do command space plus X, then the file. Anyway, you can go, well, here, pre-installation steps, download the driver. So get the .run file from the NVIDIA website, disable the Nouveau driver, exit your graphical desktop session. Yeah, well, I always do it in server anyway, so I don't need to do that. And then switch to terminal. I'm always in terminal. Stop display manager. Again, I don't have display manager even installed because I'm running server. Make executable. So command plus X NVIDIA Linux the actual .run file name that makes it executable, and then sudo sh / and then the name of the file, and that should do it. The one thing is when you are in the run of it, make sure you select the open. The open version must be the open version. And that's pretty much it. And obviously reboot at the end. So, yeah, these are the instructions. Basically the instructions I follow, except for, again, because I'm installing it on server, I don't need to stop the graphical desktop session and switch to terminal. I'm already in terminal. Stop display manager. I don't have a display manager, which is why I don't have to disable Nouveau, because Nouveau is not even installed. So yeah, those are the things you need to do if you're running the standard version of Linux, the GUI version of Linux. So hopefully that helps. There you go. Yep. Exactly what this just said, except in a much more concise version that I would expect from Swamp 7. Do I have any snow? Yes, I had to drive home in the snow tonight. Not that much. It was snowier down where I was. About not even an inch. It was probably a quarter of an inch. More than a dusting. It was definitely making the road slick until I got on the expressway. And then everybody was driving slower on the expressway because the expressways did have a small amount of snow on them. Obviously, there was ruts that were pretty much down to the pavement. So it wasn't too bad. But then as I drove further north, there was less snow. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Mr. X625. No problem at all. So Swamp 7, what did you say about the ping? Was that to my rig? Is that what you were saying? Inquiring minds want to know. Let me see. Do I still have that open? There we go. Log into my Apache Guacamole. That is not the one I want. I want the Octoserver. Oh, there's the Octoserver. All right. And then I probably don't need to do that, do I? I thought I ran it from here. Maybe I did. Let's do sudo su. Yep, there it is. Let's see if I'm still getting packet loss. Interesting. Very interesting. So when you're running ICMP packets, occasionally you will get some packet losses that deprioritizes your traffic. But I just ran this. Let me do this. Okay, so this is the run. Let me do this. All right. And before it was going from Elmhurst to Northlake, and Northlake was the one that had like a huge amount of packet loss, and now it's not even showing it. Let me do this to Cloudflare. This is going to VAST.AI. And this, by the way, this was like 25%. And like I said, the speeds are definitely a lot better than they were. Now it's going up a little bit. But let me Control C out of this. And let me do Cloudflare, which is 1.1.1.1. Yeah, see what's, yeah, there's Northlake. You can see it's still, that has not changed at all. And Cloudflare is a really important one. Now, what's interesting is maybe if I go back and run VAST, this one will pop back up and the rest of them will pop back up. So as far as I can tell, they have not solved anything in this path, unfortunately. Let me try running VAST.AI again. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted. Yeah, it's interesting how it's not showing up as the next hop. So look at that. Elmhurst now at like 50%. Yeah, they still got issues. Still have issues, unfortunately. Bummer. I was really hoping it was fixed. No, I know. I was just running different locations. You got any other suggestions other than Cloudflare? I mean, I did Google, which I believe is 8.8.8.8, but it does not go through the Northlake hop, which is the main issue. Galaxy 9 Synthesis says, got an inch or two of snow here in Middle Tennessee, but expecting freezing rain overnight into Sunday. Yeah, freezing rain is like the worst. The absolute worst. Yeah, the absolute worst. But yeah, I'm willing to try doing it anywhere. Like I said, when I do... like I said, I was doing VAST.AI before and it was taking the same path. Now it's not. And you can see the packet loss is much less than it was. And again, this will show up with some packet loss if it's dumping ICMP packets because it's trying to prioritize real traffic. But 80%, 70%? No. No, absolutely not. And you can see the worst ping is 196.6 to that hop. And let me go back to what I wanted. I keep doing that. Control C. Go back to 1.1.1. So far, ping isn't too bad. Might have fixed some of it, like I said, but like I said, the amount of packet loss is still really high. Like I said, unless they're just dumping all the ICMP packets because they're prioritizing other traffic, is possible. But and now you're seeing the worst ping going up to 43. Let's check one other thing here. I wanted to look to see if I had any. This was the 24th. 1250 to 1255. High latency. Max latency was 37 milliseconds. So that was a period of time. And then, yeah, on tonight's stream, when I had that glitch, 925 to 930, there was high latency detected. Went up to 33 milliseconds at one point. Not good. Not good. But seeing a number of spikes of significant traffic, max download speeds of almost a gig. 991 was max download. Average download was 960 megabits per second download. And again, I see this all the time on upload. Max upload was 173 when it's consistently I can get 320 to 350, but it never maxes out upload. Like never. So, yep. Just checking a couple of peaks. Yep. Yeah, upload is... Oh, look at that. Actually, I did peak out. 357 megabits per second. Upload was at 820 to 825 this morning. I did max out. Interesting. That's the first time I've seen that. Oh, look at that. I actually am maxing out at times. 374 megabits per second at 1 a.m. last night. Interesting. All right, let's go back to here. Oh, look at those huge worst ping times. Oh, isn't that special? Average is, yeah. Go figure. All right. Yeah, I know. It's not good. That's for sure. So I am still trying to work with them on it, trying to get their attention to actually take care of it. So I have to forward an email to one of the managers, local service managers, and see if I can get him to actually go out there and look at these locations and find where the problems are. By the way, Comcast is, according to the tech that I talked to, Comcast is laying off like crazy. So he's like, expect service to get worse. Like, great. That's just great. So, and he also said, don't expect to get DOCSIS 4.0 anytime soon. He's like, everywhere it's gone, it has not gone well with the rollout. Its service levels drop. Speeds are better, but do you value uptime or do you value speed? I'm like, well, I value both, but I value uptime more. He's like, well, then you don't want this yet. Like, okay, good to know. So yeah, hopefully Easy Fiber or T-Mobile Fiber will get here soon. Because, oh, that was the other thing I was going to touch on. VAST.AI has gone completely to automated verification. And what that means is that whatever their limits are, that if you don't hit those limits, you're not getting verified. And in my case, the verification, I need 500 up and 500 down. And get 500 up, 500 down, but I can't get 500 up. So there's no way any of the 5090s I currently have, if that they are going to be verified anytime soon. So I'm really thinking about moving my 5090s onto my T7810s, which I have 2 GPUs on all of those. So I have to put 2 GPUs on. I can't scale them back to 1. Otherwise, I just move the machine ID over to the machines that they're on. So it's either that or I do like a bifurcation, which I think the Minis Forum boards can do. Like do a bifurcation, like host adapter and device adapter combo, and then actually put two GPUs on those Mini Forum boards. I think I could do that, but again, that would cost significantly more money because those adapters are really expensive. Anyway, I have to think about that because 5090s not being rented, while they're appreciating in value, so it's not the end of the world. I would much rather have them making some money for me. And I have 3 out of the 5 that are rented, but they're rented super cheap because they're unverified. So yeah, but yeah, that's something the other thing I thought of was is actually trying to find somebody that I know locally that has fiber and seeing if they would host a few of my rigs until I can get them verified, and then take them back home, because they're not going to unverify them. If they were like way off from the specifications, that'd be one thing, but in this particular case, they're not. So, yeah, I've got 4 rigs, with 5 5090s and 2 5060 Ti's. The 2 5060 Ti's I'm not really that worried about, because I'm thinking I may just use that as like my own server to play with. So I may just do that. But the 59s, on the other hand, no. Need them to be making some money. All right, let me go over the chat, and then I will call it a night. Let's see. Looks like a tin can connection. New England Crypto. Good to see you, sir. Have you considered just co-location hosting a rig? I know a guy. We can talk. Absolutely can talk. Because I was actually, we talked about this. I talked about, would I be better off just renting out a location? But yeah, we could definitely talk. You're not that far away. I could drive my rigs up to you. No question. But anyway, let's talk. And again, it would hopefully only be for a temporary period of time until I can get a better internet connection. It is all well. Hope it's all well with you too, New England Crypto. Gotta get up to get down. Yes. Make an 8 GPU 5090 rig. Yeah, that would be nice. Except RAM. Need I say more? I do have a 3 by 5090 rig with 128 gig of RAM, which is a little bit light. I'm not adding more, that's for sure. So, alrighty, guys. Well, now that New England Crypto's here, let's call it a night. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I am gonna wrap up. Appreciate you guys all being here, and I will be here again next Saturday, hopefully, unless I have to work. But I will keep you guys informed, let you know if anything changes. I think I have it worked out with my boss that even so, I could leave a little bit early so I can get back by no later than 9 p.m. Central Time if worse came to worse. But yeah, so appreciate you guys being here. Hope you guys learned something. And if you're watching this after the fact, put anything in the comments if you got any questions about anything we discussed tonight on the live stream. Other than that, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And as always, no tabs were harmed in the making of this live stream. Have a good night, everybody.